Hey everyone, welcome to episode 44 of the Cohesive Home podcast. Did you miss us? Today we are sharing what we've been up to for the last 6 months and our dreams for Cohesive Home in the future.
So crazy to finally be recording again.
Yeah, it really is.
I thought it would never happen. But I am so happy we're here.
Yeah.
So good to see your face.
I know. Well, I mean, obviously we talk like every day, but
It's
yeah,
true story.
The future of the Cohesive Home podcast was kind of unknown. We really didn't know if we would be continuing it or not. And there for a little while, I think we had kind of written it off. But
Yeah.
I truly think that hearing from our listeners spurred us to just realize that we are producing some valuable content and that people actually like listening to us. So we are so excited to be doing this again and to hopping back in the podcast seat and producing some new content.
Absolutely. Yeah, we just really missed it, and we really appreciate all of you that did reach out to us over the last few months just to see what was going on, where we had gone, and we're just glad to be back.
Yes, very much so.
So where were we?
Yeah.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun. Kate, you want to go first? I think you have the biggest story as far as what has happened to you and your family and just all the cool things that have been going on and also the struggles and just everything.
Yeah. Oh man,
you go
this is
first?
like a lot. This is a lot to unpack. So I don't know. Did I give like the really short version? Well, the short version is my family and I went full time traveling on the road. And so we left, when was that, Melissa? Like the beginning of March.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We left Indiana and we started traveling. And so that's really the very, very short story, is that it was a huge change. It was such a big transition in a way that I think I hadn't anticipated. Duh, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I say that a lot. Like I didn't expect it, but I needed a break. And we can go into more of that, of like why I needed a break so much. But I think we should also talk about Melissa. Let's touch on what was happening with you at the same time, and then maybe we can dive a bit deeper.
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys were going through the move, and so even our communication on a daily basis kind of puttered out a little bit just because we were both so busy. I was actively searching for jobs for my husband. We had finally made the decision to pursue education for him again. So being a teacher, not him going back to school, but him teaching. And we're really excited about it, but it took a lot of time and it was very stressful. He had multiple interviews weekly, and just that whole process was oddly time consuming. So, and then also just life was just busy. And so for the two of us being able to record, we were actually just hopped on Instagram Live, and somebody asked us, how do we juggle everything? Like, how do you find the time to record and then also, parent and all of these other things? And that's really something we couldn't do. We couldn't juggle the podcast. We had to give it a backseat and let life and our families take precedence, which they always are, but truly just not be distracted by anything else. So,
well, yeah, I mean, we wanted to walk the walk and live by our values, and obviously our families are such a huge priority to us, but also living simply. I mean, that is what this whole podcast is about. And so for us to just keep pushing and trying to put out more content, even though we were struggling, that would have just been
lies.
A lie.
Lies.
All lies.
Yeah, and we want to be completely transparent with everyone listening. We are definitely very real people. We are not fake. I hope if you've been listening for a while, you probably know that. But if you're new, just know that Kate and I keep it pretty real around here.
Yes.
And also child friendly. Ding. So, if your kids,
Most of the time.
most of the time, if your kids
Except
are
that one
listening-
episode.
Yeah. Okay, so Kate, why don't you just dive into your story a little bit more? And because you said you just, oh, I don't know, packed up our lives and moved to California in a travel trailer. It's
Right.
so much more than that. There have been so many different little side notes. So
Yeah.
do tell.
I know, it's kind of crazy, but so if you have been listening for a while, or even if you haven't, my family has been obsessed with the idea of traveling full time. It's something that we've talked about for years, and it took us a while to get up the courage to actually do it. And so just as a note, like if you're trying to make a big change in your life and it's taking a while, that's okay. Like you will get there if you keep pursuing it. But we had to sell our house. And my husband is a travel speech pathologist. So he does 13-week rotations in different locations around the country, around the United States. And so there was that whole like leaving our old jobs behind, my husband starting a new job, and then also finding a home on wheels, which we decided to remodel at Melissa's house.
Yeah.
Right. And so it was so many things happening at once for us. I mean, as you can just imagine, it was like, okay, we just sold our house. We're trying to pack up. We were staying with my parents at the time while trying to work on our travel trailer in the snow in Indiana.
And you had work.
I was teaching for 2 different universities. And then I had a baby who wasn't even 1 yet.
Yeah. So you weren't sleeping.
And it was just all sorts of nuts. And
Yeah.
and so we kind of kept pushing because we were like, okay, we know that once we get through all of these transition parts, like it's going to get better. So we left Indiana and we went to Norman where Melissa is, and we stayed there for a week. And her amazing husband helped us continue working on our camper and painting the interior, which was he's awesome. Thanks, Brandon.
He is, isn't he?
Just throw that out there. I
Aw.
know, right?
Yeah, no, he that's what friends are for.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we started heading west, and we spent the last 4 months traveling around California. And my husband worked a job, but we would leave on the weekends, and oh my gosh, we just saw so many amazing things. It was incredible. But in that time, like at least at the beginning when we first started traveling, I was just done.
Yeah.
I was so tired and I couldn't figure out. I was like, why am I so tired?
Yeah.
I think I just had completely burnt myself out, or adrenal fatigue, whatever you want to call it. And I needed that rest, and thankfully Melissa gets it.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, I mean, I had 3 babies in 3 years, so I didn't sleep for like 6 years straight. And
Yeah.
I mean, but even not even that, just the fact that I'm your friend and I wanted to be supportive, and I knew that that's, starting Cohesive Home, it was a joy and it's fun. And actually, we can talk about that as well. I mean, if you've been following us for a while, we decided let's do a business out of Cohesive Home, and let's do these, let's try and make money and all this stuff, and get advertisers, and I'm not saying that may not happen in the future, but for us, it took it to another level that was out of our comfort zone at that time.
Yeah, it was kind of beyond our control. And really, like, it was it was never, for us, it was never like, let's start a business because we want to make money off of it. It was more like, let's start a business out of it so that we can justify the time that we're spending on this, because both of us were putting
Yeah.
so many hours a week, 10, 15 hours a week probably,
Yeah.
into Cohesive Home, and taking that away from our families. And so we're like, it would be really great if we could help also contribute to our family's bottom lines,
Right.
as we're also supporting others through this, business.
Right. Right. Exactly.
But it was too
Yeah,
much.
but it was too much. And so, yeah, whenever things started happening with Kate, I knew that we just needed to step back and we needed to just take a break. And so, without really even planning it, we did. We just
Yeah.
said, done, let's stop.
But you know what?
What?
I have to tell you, like, this is the really cool thing about it, and I want to share with all of you listening, is that I just, like, I got off social media for a while. I kind of quit answering email.
Yeah.
Like, because I have, I don't know, like 5 email accounts.
Yeah.
And except for the work ones where I'm obviously like, I have to respond, all my personal email, I just took a major step back. And it was the most transformational thing for my relationship with my kids.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
And I don't, like, I can't quite pinpoint, like, okay, well, was it because I was not doing so much with the tech and I was more present? Or is it just that I was less stressed so I could connect more deeply with my kids? Or maybe it was just all of that. But, like, man, we've got such a great connection now, my kids and I and my husband. It's like a whole nother level.
Yeah. You guys went off as a family. You didn't have anybody else's help. And that's one thing, like
Yeah.
when we went to Germany, that's what we felt. It's like that,
Really?
that connectedness that you don't get when you're surrounded by like family or friends that you've had for a really long time.
Yeah.
You don't have anyone else to lean on but yourself. And so
Yes.
that, or not yourself, but the other person in your family, I mean, so you just become so much more bonded and the relationship grows. And yeah, I was so happy to see that for you guys. After that, that first month you guys were on the road was a little rough, but then
Yeah. Well, and truthfully too, like, it's when it is just you and your partner and your kids, like, Kirk and I, we got in fights. Like, we had
Yeah.
so many growing pains as a couple. But now, man, it is like rock solid.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes you got to walk a little bit through that fire to come out on the other side. And it's like, it just deepens things in a way that,
yeah,
we couldn't expect.
that's awesome. I know. I love
Yeah.
it. I've loved just kind of sitting back and watching you guys grow through this. It's been really
Well,
fun.
thank you.
Well, do you want to tell them the thing about the travel trailers?
No.
You got to tell them.
Okay, guys. So sometimes you think you know what's going to be best for your family and your travels. And also, sometimes you think that you're a certain kind of traveler that you're not. That was the case with me, my family. So we had bought a pretty small travel trailer and we were like, yeah, we're going to just like get out there and live life, and we're only going to sleep in it, and it's going to be this awesome thing. And I am telling you, it was so small.
So
It was so not designed for family life. And like, I don't need a giant house on wheels, but we were super struggling.
Yeah.
And this was the one that we had remodeled. So it was like, oh man, what do we do? We had some issues happen with it that I'm not going to discuss here. And we were like, we're done. We were just done. And so we drove all the way from Northern California to Seattle over 4 days. So it was like 23 hours total round trip, and got a new travel trailer.
Woohoo.
And we love it. We love it, guys. Moral of the story, sometimes you got to follow your gut. You got to have a great home environment. If something's not working, don't be afraid to change it.
Yeah.
The end.
Yes. Got to have a good home environment. Oh my gosh, that's so crucial. Especially,
It's not pretty. It's super brown inside,
Hey.
but that's okay. It feels like home.
Yeah, that's it right there. It's your home, and your kids are thriving. And so,
Oh, yeah.
do you want to tell them what you're doing now? What's next?
What are we doing?
What's next
Oh,
for
what
you
are we
guys?
doing now? Yeah, for sure. Well, so we wrapped up our time on the West Coast. We're heading to the East Coast, which I am crazy excited for because
I'm jealous.
Kirk and I have spent some time in Boston. That's kind of basically our favorite city. We always thought we'd end up there, and it's one of those dreams that you have. It didn't quite work out, but it is working out in a different capacity. And
That's so
so,
cool.
yeah, we're heading to Massachusetts.
Yay.
And we'll be on the East Coast. We'll be traveling all around all this fall, I think through probably the end of October. Basically, when it starts getting cold, we're going to leave.
I'm so jealous.
Come see me.
I know I need to.
You have to come visit. Okay, so Melissa,
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit more about what is going on with you guys.
Oh, well,
This is exciting.
It's exciting. It's not as involved, I think, of a story as yours.
Oh, whatever.
But okay, so earlier, I had touched on the fact that we were searching for a job for my husband, and there for a little while, we really thought we were going to Florida, which we are super stoked about.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Because of the ocean. I mean, come on. We're going to be in Boca Raton. He got through 3 interviews, and then we just didn't hear anything. We're like, okay. So we finally heard back, and they said, oh, well, we really, really wanted to hire you, but we had already offered it to somebody else.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, cool. All right. Thanks. You could have told us that,
Yeah,
before.
that was not.
It wasn't very
That
kind.
was not right.
He was their backup.
No.
He was their backup if the other guy
Which
didn't
is,
come
yeah.
through. Anyway.
Their loss. Totally their
Yeah,
loss.
totally. But you know
Right?
what? You know what? God has a plan, and we
Yeah.
are so thankful for what has happened. So, shortly, like a few days after we kind of were super bummed out about Florida, he had some other interviews like Connecticut, like Houston, Monterey, California. I mean, all these places.
Monterey. Love
Oh,
Monterey.
we like would have eaten rice every day because
Is the cost of living is
insane.
crazy.
If you're listening and you live in the Monterey area and you would like us to come out and visit you, please let us know because it's
hilarious.
gorgeous. We are very excited, but no, that didn't work out.
Yeah.
So, my constant prayer is that God like closes the doors that need to be closed and open the doors that need to be open. And I truly believe that that's what happened in this instance. He got a call from a school in Fort Worth, Texas, just a day or two after we heard from Florida. And they wanted to interview him on the phone the next day. And so he had an interview on the phone, and then he had a very, another day or two later, he had a Skype interview, and then after that, they said, or no, actually, I don't even think he had a Skype interview. I think it was the phone interview. And then they said, we want to see you in Fort Worth. So
Yeah.
we had a trip out to Arkansas with some friends. We went to Arkansas camping. And then at the tail end of that trip, we just drove over to Fort Worth. So he went all day. They loved him. They offered him the job. And long story short,
So cool.
we're
That's so
moving to Fort
exciting.
Worth. So we got the job, and I say we. My husband got the job.
Well, you were pretty
I
involved.
was very, yeah.
I mean,
it's
it's
a
come
team
on.
effort. It's a team effort.
It is. Totally.
So he got the job, and then within, the next week, we were like, oh crap. We have a house that we
Yeah.
bought a year ago that is not fully renovated yet. So I literally, oh, there's my dog. Literally,
It's okay. It's raining. It's raining really hard right now. So if you hear the rain,
oh, I can't.
sorry.
Yeah, I really can't really hear it, but
Oh, well,
you're
awesome.
calling me. So anyway, yeah, where was I? We decided, not decided. We had to renovate our house. We didn't have baseboards. Our kitchen was demoed. So if you
Yes.
go to my Instagram, if you go to my stories highlights, it says home, I think, or something, you can kind of see what our kitchen was before and after. So that was a major thing that we had to do. So, oh my gosh, we worked our tails off for about 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I don't even know what it was, but we got everything done. Listed the house about 2 weeks ago and sold it in 5 days. And
Which is
so
incredible.
yeah,
Amazing.
yeah. So that just, it's
Yay.
confirmation, it's like, you're doing the right thing. So we sold it. We had our inspections yesterday actually, and everything seemed to go well. So, and then, so we went down to Fort Worth to try and find a house. We were going to buy a house. We're like, okay, well, that's what you do. And we decided, after looking and looking all day for 2 days, it was just not feeling right. And we decided to rent an apartment on the river. I'm so excited because we get to finally have like Brandon's probably going to bike to work. We're going to try and just do one car.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to be,
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, lifestyle wise, like I feel it fits you guys so well.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be able to simplify the whole. I mean, watching you guys remodel that house, I mean, it was cool to see the end product. And I think you have some photos on at Melissa Reisenhoover, right, on your Instagram.
Yes. Yep.
So go check those out. But yeah, like the building up to that is so much work and so much stress. I mean, I know some people love remodeling houses. I'm not one of them. I don't think I ever will be. So I'm so happy you guys are doing an apartment and you just breathe and rest for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's one thing to be like a Joanna Gaines that renovates homes you're not living in.
Yeah,
but when you're
living that mess.
Oh my gosh, and we're like under 900 square feet. So when you're living in the renovation, it is super stressful. And yeah, we're just really, really ready. Like you said, that rest to be able to move into an apartment. And I literally like walk out my door and into Whole Foods. It's so great.
Which is super dangerous. I know. Right? I mean.
Oh, girl. Yeah. It's good. Oh, and they have wine.
Although, like, as an aside, you have gotten really awesome at budgeting.
Hey, thanks.
For food, right? Like, you've totally like locked that down.
Yeah.
So,
and there's a Costco down the street too, which I'm super excited about because we don't have that here in Oklahoma City.
That's
sad.
Awesome.
And it's like I'm moving up, guys. I'm moving up in the world.
Costco, woo woo. So you're moving in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we're moving at the beginning of August.
And are you still planning to homeschool, or like what's your plan for school?
Yeah.
With the kids?
Well, so my husband's going to be working at a private school. And I would love to send my kids there. However, he only gets 50% tuition discount. So we still can't afford it on one salary. There's no other option other than homeschooling other than that. So I'm really excited about it. The people I've connected with through Cohesive Home that are down in Fort Worth are also homeschooling moms. And the community down there seems huge. So
that's awesome.
I'm actually really excited about it.
Yeah.
And I've kind of honed in on how I want to school them and educate them this next year, because I've been basically like unschooling for the past 3 years, and we're still going to mostly do that, but it's going to be a little bit more literature based. So that's a completely different podcast.
You know what? I'm so glad you said that, because I was thinking that I don't know if you guys listening would be interested, but I think maybe another homeschool one. Listen, Melissa and I are not, I don't think we're homeschooling experts.
Most definitely am I not.
Right? It's like not the one and only thing. We don't believe that that's like the only way that you should ever school your kids. It's just kind of what we both fell into. Mm-hmm. But I'm also feeling like really good about homeschooling now and getting comfortable with it. And so that would be fun.
That would be a lot of fun.
Do another episode.
Yeah, I'm about to order the curriculum that I'm going to be using here in the next few days. And so, I'm
me too.
Piecemealing is what I'm doing. It's what do they call it? Eclectic homeschooling?
Eclectic. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of, I feel like I started with a boxed curriculum, and then, that's kind of what I'm doing now. But sorry, we're so getting off track.
That was a nice little rabbit hole. All right. So, Yeah, you asked
But
if we're, yeah, homeschooling. Yes, I'm homeschooling.
yeah. So, but other than that, I mean, you're gonna get settled in your beautiful new apartment,
Guys, it's only like a
and
year old. It's so
I'm
gorgeous.
so happy for you. No problems to
Oh,
fix.
it's going to
A
be
big kitchen
great.
that you can actually.
With an island? Can we talk
Oh,
about that and say an
whoa.
amen? What? So
What?
excited.
I'm excited for you because like my kitchen is, well, I will say it feels quite luxurious compared to our first
Yeah.
travel trailer that we started traveling in full time. But yeah, no, I definitely do not have an island. There's no, I'm like looking around right now. Like, ugh.
You have a nice kitchen
I've got
table to
three
your left.
burners. I have an oven though.
You do have
You
an
guys, I
oven.
do have an oven.
You didn't say what kind. You have a Lance. Those things are sweet.
I do. We have a Lance and we love it. We love our Lance. They're made in California
Yeah.
and we're very happy. But anyway, I'm, again, man, super off track.
We just have so many things to talk about and catch people up on. So
We do.
we'll splice these down into different podcasts at some point and get them
Eventually,
recorded.
eventually. But what I was trying to say is I'm excited for you because you're going to be able to get that rest and recharge and just connect with your kids after the craziness of the last couple years really for your family. And like I mean same for mine. Like I feel like we're also at that point where we are listening to our bodies and our mental health too, just like where
Yeah.
we're at and making rest a priority.
Yeah. So I didn't really even touch on this, but one of the main reasons why we decided to pursue teaching for my husband again was, we moved back from Germany because he was going to help with the family business, and it was most definitely needed. I've talked about it in previous episodes, but it wasn't his dream. It wasn't his business, and it's been really hard. It's been hard on Brandon, and if it's hard on Brandon, it's hard on me and the kids. And so we kind of feel like we're getting our life back. It sounds,
Yes.
I mean, that's like, oh my gosh, that's so first world problems. But, we've been very blessed and lucky to have these last 3 years close to family and meeting some amazing friends. But now we get to pursue our dreams and the things that we want for our family. And get that it has not been restful like what you're talking about. It's not
Yeah.
been, there's not been a peace for the last 3 years really. And so I'm excited to have that again.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys have been very restless.
Yes.
Is like how I would describe it.
Yes.
Like you were going about your lives and doing everything that is expected of you as an adult and as a parent, like you were checking off all the correct boxes, but inside you weren't living your best life. You weren't living what your family is called to do in this world. And so I see for your family, and I think you do too, is that Brandon is going to be able to do what he's called to do, which means then you can focus on what you're meant to do and what you're supposed to put out into this world.
Yeah.
And then likewise, you guys will then be able to pursue international travel, which is what you're always been about.
If you guys could see me, I'm
She's
dancing. So excited. Oh, yes, it brings such joy to us, and it makes me smile and dance. So, but yeah, you're right. Very well said, Kate.
Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, so, we want to encourage all of you to embrace rest when rest is needed. Like, don't be afraid to take a break or to reevaluate why you're doing something in the first place if it's not continuing to work well for you or for your family.
Yeah, you're right, Kate. I mean, rest is so important, and we're actually going to do a full podcast on that, on how to find rest for you and your family. And so be on the lookout for that in the future. Okay, so what's next for Cohesive Home, you might ask? Or maybe not, but hopefully you are asking that.
We're asking. What's next? We don't know.
We're asking ourselves this question.
Oh my
So
goodness.
Kate, what is next for Cohesive Home? What we want to do is tell everyone listening what we're dreaming about, what we want to see for Cohesive Home, but in a realistic and just obtainable way, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and first I want to say, like, if you're a new listener and you're just jumping in with us, first, like, welcome. We're so excited to have you with us. But I want to just point out that on our website, we have a 7-step guide to a cohesive home. You just sign up, enter your email, and we will send that. Was it like 26 pages?
Yeah.
It's a huge, it's a pretty huge guide. We put our hearts into it, and we will send that directly to your email inbox. And so that's a great place to start if you're kind of trying to figure out what we're all about.
Yeah, totally.
But going forward,
yes, going forward, we're going to try and our groups, if you're also new, you may not know that we have groups. We have groups that we have probably neglected slightly. So we're sorry if you're a group leader, but
we love you guys.
We love you, and we're so thankful for you. And so we really want to start pushing that more and letting people know about our groups, because that's community. And that's what we all need.
And we all need that. We all need that. And as I'm traveling, I would love to come visit your group. So if you're a group on the East Coast, definitely reach out to me, because I'd love to come hang.
Yes. And then also Fort Worth and Dallas. Like, if we have groups on there, which I know we do, we definitely need to make that happen. So that's one thing.
But we're going to continue recording and putting out what we hope are quality episodes. So it might not be the quantity that we used to. We used to put out, like, 2 a week for a while?
At one point,
which was crazy.
That was a lot.
It was hard. That was hard. We love you guys, but that was hard on us. So we're going to just keep trying to stay consistent, giving you guys great episodes that we hope that you enjoy and love. And then we're dreaming about something else. Actually, this was one of our first dreams.
Yeah.
Like, way back when we first started.
Yes. Well, because, again, along with the community thing with the groups, we love connecting. We love connecting with other moms, other people. I have conversations with even, like, dads online, that listen to our podcast. So just like-minded people. It's just so great to be in community with all of you. And so our dream is to have a retreat. That is our absolute dream for Cohesive Home, is to gather people together in a beautiful place and just enjoy each other's company and hopefully learn something as well. And I don't know. What else, Kate? What else with that?
Yeah, so that's something that, like, if we're being really vulnerable, we would love to do next year in 2019. So, we're going to keep just working on that behind the scenes. If that's something you're interested in, let us know now. Like, we want to know, is that something that would, interest you, that you would love to join us for a time of rest and learning and connecting? Because we want to make it happen.
Yes. Dream big. Woohoo.
Always. Well, we are just so grateful for our community with all of you. And we just hope that this podcast and really all of our episodes encourage you and just brighten your day.
Thank you so much for being a part of our Cohesive Home family. And also thank you for listening today. We'll see you all next time.